Hi guys, so today we're going to talk about the Real Techniques Brush Cleansing Gel. So I brought this in Superdrug. I believe it was an introductory offer for $6.99. So price wise, it's not entirely far out from the MAC Brush Cleanser. This one is a gel instead of a liquid, but it comes with the same kind of flippy top. There was a foil seal inside here when I got it, which I didn't know. And this has got quite a pleasant, sweet smell. So I have used this once so far, and I'm going to insert a clip of me washing my brushes, and then I'm going to show you a picture of their end dried results. I will point out that the very first brush that I cleaned is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and I forgot to hit record. So I've actually cleaned this more times than you actually see in the footage. Now at the same time as bringing this out, they also brought out a brush cleaning tray. I didn't buy that, I'm happy just using my hands, or if anything's particularly stubborn, I've got one of the little silicone scrublet things that I got in Primark that does the same job as those kind of trays and scrubbing utensils that people are now selling for brushes. So I'm going to insert a clip of my brushes being cleaned, brushes when they are clean, and then I'll come back and I'll talk a little bit more about my opinion on this product. Okay, so as I said, we're starting with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, which I'd already washed off camera about twice, which is why it looks a little bit soggy. So squeezing out some of the gel, I find it hard to get a small amount to come out of this bottle, which is where the tray may come in useful, because obviously you would, be able to hold on to that product and use it for multiple brushes much easier. You can see that the product is, the product is coming out of the brush. My hand's turning beige, and you can see more coming out as I rinse. I did find this a slightly harder product to rinse out than other brush cleaners, but to be honest, that is to be expected with it being a gel rather than a liquid. So just to show you now that I've ran my nail across it, that's how much product was still stuck on my brush at that point after being washed about 3 times and rinsed. So I'm going to give up on that brush because you guys would be so bored if I kept washing until it was clean. So next we've got my MAC 168. This is a natural bristle brush. I use mine for blusher, which is why it's nice and stained pink. So I was curious how this product would work out with this brush in particular, because Real Techniques are known for their synthetic brushes, and with this being a natural bristled hair, it may not be what this product was particularly aimed at. So the one thing I like about the gel is it doesn't run out between your fingers, which the MAC brush cleaner does, so I feel like there's less waste there. But as you can see, that brush came out really clean, really quickly. These white goat hair brushes are some of the more difficult ones, I would say, to get clean. They very rarely will go back to their original white colour. But they do seem to get a better lather with brush cleaners than other types of bristle. So I'm now going to grab another brush and just keep that product in my hand just to see how easy it is to kind of keep working with. So this is again a MAC goat hair brush. It's the 227. I use this with kind of darker crease shadows, so again it gets pretty stained, but again it's came out quite clean rather quickly with this product. So next we have a MAC 227. This only really gets used, to be honest with you, for my kind of brow bone colour. It is one of my favourite brushes though, but it never really takes that much to clean this because generally it's got a dusting of creamy white eyeshadow on it that doesn't really stain, and it doesn't get used with any kind of cream products. So now we have the Beauty Blender. Now this product doesn't state that it's for cleaning sponges, but we have to test things quite thoroughly, and I use my Beauty Blender quite regularly, and again you can see what I meant about it being difficult to get a small helping of this product out. So all the dirt seems to be coming off my Beauty Blender really quite quickly with this product. It does seem to be properly getting in there and taking it out, There is a little bit of pink dye there, but to be honest, I wasn't particularly concerned because I only got this beauty blender about 2 weeks ago to do the comparison review with the Spectrum Unicorn Tears. So you can see it's pretty much back to its original pink colour. I'm just trying to get all the soap residue out of it before I leave it to dry. Wow, I really took my time rinsing this one. La la la. But there you can see just how clean it is. It's nice uniform pinky colour. Tiny bit of staining left on that very tip, but to be honest I use that for concealer. So next we have a MAC Oval 6 brush. I do find this quite a difficult brush to clean. It's very dense and I find that a lot of times if I kind of part the bristles I will still find dried up foundation down there. And that's still the case even though I'm currently using it for the NYX Mineral Stick foundation. So I never actually apply any foundation directly to this brush where it could be soaking down. So I have no idea why that's happening still. So if you can see what I mean there, it's very beige kind of down in there. But it's rinsed clean fairly quickly with this gel cleanser. So last but not least, we've got my other MAC 168. This gets used for my contour. So again, fairly pigmented product goes on it. It does get quite stained and much the same as my other 168 brush. It came up clean really quite quickly. So I left all these brushes to dry overnight. They took a little bit longer to dry, I would say, than when I used my matte cleanser. And oh, this guy's getting a lather, rinse, repeat as well. But as you can see, it's, you know, back to a really nice, clean, creamy colour. Almost like when you buy them new. Look at it. Oh. Right. Okay, and here we have our nice clean brushes all in a row and the beauty blender. I noticed at this point that this seems a little bit squishier than normal. But what's this? I'll explain this in a minute. I found this last night and I'm not happy. And this guy looks a little bit frazzled. Okay. So first of all, let's start with the Expert Face Brush. As I said, I had cleaned this more than the times that are in that footage. I just forgot to hit record because we've all done it. And I have to say, this brush is still dirty after being cleaned multiple times. Now, this is not a brush that I use every day, but I had used it for my foundation yesterday so that it was dirty to do this video with. And it doesn't feel as nice as it used to. I don't really know what the deal there is, but let's move on. So the other foundation brush that I done was my MAC, I can't remember, the MAC Oval 6. Now this one doesn't feel particularly dried out, but it was particularly soft to begin with. But I don't know, there's still bits kind of when you go in like that where you can see the foundation it's worked down into it. Now the only brush cleaner that's taking that out easily is the Solid Blender Cleanser for the Beauty Blender, which admittedly is not aimed at brushes but does a fabulous job of cleaning these oval brushes. So that one, it's fine, the surface is clean, that's the bit that touches my face. I guess I can be okay with it. So next we've got my MAC 217. So I used this today, so it's not, that dust isn't the fact that it's dirty. This one's fine, it was clean, it perhaps feels a little bit drier than it used to, but nothing drastic. So let's get on to the ones that I'm going to say I'm more concerned about how this product has reacted with them. And we're going to start with my Beauty Blender. Now, when this was dry, it felt much softer than normal. I noticed when I was wetting it to do my makeup today that it absorbed water much faster, but also it dried much faster. It still feels significantly squishier than normal, and I'm not sure if that'll pick up on camera, but there's almost like a rustling noise now when you squeeze it. So to be honest, this almost feels like it's less dense than it was before. Almost like this has started to kind of, I don't know, break down the material that this is made of. So let's move on to my MAC 168 that I use for contouring. Now this done a fabulous job of cleaning this. It went white, which is weird because Real Techniques are very, well, all their brushes are synthetic. This is a natural bristle brush, so I wasn't sure how well it would cope. And again, it's, you know, it's kept its shape, it's clean. There's just something about the feeling on it that's not quite what it used to be, but nothing drastic. So next, and in fact I'm going to put these two together, okay? So I've got my other 168 which I use for blush and my 227 brush. Now my 227 brush will always be used for a matte cream eyeshadow, either to place it across brow bone or across the entire eye if I'm doing just a simple look like today. I do not go back in, well, I very rarely will go back in after doing all my dark eye makeup and touch anything up with this. It's maybe something that happens twice a month. I think between the last time I cleaned this and cleaning it with this product, I'd used it to try and clean up a tiny little speck of mascara in there. But what I found was when I went back in to check on these brushes as they were drying, we had this dark black greenish stain, and these were sitting side by side like that on the worktop. So at first I kind of thought, oh my god, what's happened? Where's that dye came from? It can't be eyeshadow because eyeshadow wouldn't seep out like that, and I was cleaning this. So I picked up this brush and I cleaned it again and again and again and again and again, and that dye continued to come out. So I can only conclude that the colour that's been removed is the actual colour of the bristles themselves has been stripped out by that product. And when I went to apply my makeup with this today, it didn't feel as nice as normal. It felt dry, it wasn't running over my skin as smoothly, it was kind of sticking almost. So I'm obviously going to give this another clean and see if I can get rid of that. It doesn't actually affect how my brush works, but I can quite categorically state that I will not be using this to clean any other brushes or sponges that I own ever. It's going to go in the bin. I feel that if I kept doing it, if I kept using it, these would continue to dry out and would ultimately be even more damaged than they are today. As it is, I feel like both of these brushes are pretty damaged, and that's £51 worth of brushes and the beauty blender, so another £15, so £66 worth of tools that this is damaged. So I'm really unimpressed. I think upset is almost an understatement. And then just to top it off, rather than having this simply in its bottle with its seal, they've then got the big massive plastic packaging which serves no purpose but is damaging to the environment. So no, just absolutely not. If anybody asks me, should I try this? No, just steer clear, do not use it, it's too harsh. And I felt like I had to use a lot of product to clean, what was that, 6 brushes and a sponge, and I'm down to here in this already. So no, absolutely no way. So this will be going straight in the bin, and if you have any questions, leave a comment down below and I will get back to you. And I will speak to you guys later. Bye guys.